What is up, guys? So today is what we're planning on doing is we're planning on replacing the 2nd gen dash, and we're gonna take it all out so I can grab the 4th gen dash and kind of mock it up and see where I need to cut, what exactly I need to do, and see if there's any other way to do it. There is one way I found. I will link it down below. It is on one of the Dodge forums. A gentleman did do this and he did an amazing job, but there are some things I would like to try and change. He didn't have AC, which I would like to try and figure out how I can work my AC to still work. It might not work 100%, but at least I'd still be able to have AC blow out of the vents. Another thing I plan on doing is he did not use the gauges, so I will be using my original gauges. I'm going to try and see if I can make them work in the housing so that it looks like it's meant to be there even though it isn't. Few more other things is, one of the things is he did a lot of welding. I'm going to try and keep that down to a minimum, partly because I don't have access to a welder easily. And another part is not every one of you guys have access to a welder. So I kind of want to give an option for people who don't have access to a welder and aren't 100% comfortable with cutting off pieces and re-welding them and all that. I want to try and give you an option to do it without that. So it might take me a little longer, but I'm going to try and figure out a way to make it secure, stable, and have everything balance out and fit right and look good without ever having a welder. All right, so stay tuned. All right, so I got the whole dash out now. Well, I got all the plastics off and I got all the wires disconnected from the metal frame so that I can now start loosening up the metal frame and get that out too. I just wanted to make sure I got all the wires disconnected so I didn't do any damage. As you can see, I have I'm all the way down to the bare metal frame. I got most of the wires disconnected, and now I should be able to go through and get this metal frame out so that I can test fit the 4th gen dash. I do got to take out all of the AC duct. Like I said, I'm gonna try and look at this and see where everything went so I can try and utilize it. If I can't, I can't. If I can, awesome. All right, I'll bring you back after I got the metal frame out. All right, back now. Metal frame's out. Got the whole wiring harness out. And now we're just gonna do a quick test fit just to see. Like I said, I found on a forum roughly where to cut certain things. I just kind of want to get a test fit for myself to see. And we'll go from there. One of the main concerns I noticed while I was on the forums and on Facebook when people were asking about the swap. I don't know how it is pre-1999 or maybe not because this is a sport, but my VIN is still right there. It is actually mounted to the body. So when you lay in the new dash, you just got to make sure you cut that out so you can still see it. Just wanted to throw that in there, because that was one of the concerns when people were talking about this swap. They were asking, what are you doing with the VIN? Well, at least on 99 to 2001, and I think it's all of them, but I could be mistaken. This is a sport, so it might be different, but the VIN is actually located right down here. You just gotta make sure you cut that out if you do this swap on a sport 2001. All right, guys. So I roughly have it mocked in. The steering wheel has dropped down like 6 inches. I'm still nowhere near over here. And I still got to cut and trim the back some more. Just mocking it up. Like I said, nowhere near done. Just getting in there and fine tuning the cuts. Like as you can see, clearly not enough room. Oh. Well, as you can see, wasn't there yet. I still have a lot of work to do. I'm just slowly moving along. Just wanted to keep you updated and posted. I will now take it back out. I'll cut it off. When I actually get the right fitment that I'm comfortable with, I will show you guys what I cut, where I cut, and all that, and then where I added extra bracing and things along those lines. I am still far away from ever being finished, but I did get a little bit farther than I planned. I can't use the stock sides due to how close it is to the door. I will hit it, but I'm using it to kind of get a template on how far back I need to go. As you can see, I still need to go pretty far back. I'm not sitting all the way back right now. There's a bracket right over there, right to the left of the area where the light sensor was, that is holding me up right now and causing me not to be able to push it all the way up. I don't know if you can see that, but that's how far up I still am. So when I get that cut out the way, I should be able to slide it all the way up, filling that gap and the bigger one on that side, because that's where I'm really being held up the most, which will then bring up the gauge cluster a little higher, so I won't be so much into it. Things I didn't plan for is that I did not plan for the 4x4. So normally right there, straight across, which is higher than that, it's hard to see from that angle. So it is higher, but not much, is where the bottom of the AC, or the bottom of the radio faceplate is. So is what I'm going to do is hopefully when I get it raised up so I can push that down into there, I'm going to try and make a bracket up there where I could use to mount it to the original holes. If not, I'll figure out what I got to do. But I might cut off this here, cut off the plastic, and just use a black ABS plastic to kind of box in here. I will lose my cup holder, but it is what it is. I have to keep 4x4. But so far, not too bad. I'm really happy with how it came out. There is a lot that I'll go into detail with about after. I have to mount that glove box. I had to cut the support, which was right where the AC sticks out of, the AC box. There was a support there. I had to cut it off. Yeah, as you can see, there's a huge gap still up there. So hopefully I can get that fixed up once I get everything trimmed up. There's little pieces, like that black one right there in the middle of the light. That's a piece of the dash that's kind of holding me up. If you can see it right there. That's the bright brace that I need to cut. It's holding me up. But overall, not bad for a day's worth of work. When I'm all done with it and I get it sitting how I want it to, I will then go through and show you all where I cut, how I cut. The majority of the steps I'm following are, like I said, they're from a form from another gentleman that did this, and his truck came out looking amazingly good for the amount of work it is to actually get this into fit right. So go from there. That's about it for the day. I have to finish picking up so I can go pick up my son from daycare. And yeah, have a good day and stay tuned for more videos.
2,000 years later.
What is up, guys? So I've done a little bit more this morning, but I just wanted to give you a sneak peek on what I'm doing. until I actually get it fitted right and fitted smooth, I really don't want to show you what all I'm cutting 100% and how I'm cutting it, because I don't want you to have to go through the trial and error like I did. And if I cut something I didn't need, I don't want you to cut it for no reason. But so far, this is what I have. Well, here it is, all the chaos. I had to cut this. There are 2 bolts right here you do not want to cut. But I had to cut it down so when I slide my dash, where my gauges and all the support is kind of sits right here. So I didn't want to cut that. I really didn't want to cut it out, but I had to make it fit smooth. There's a couple pieces on the back of the actual dash I had to cut, and I'm gonna have to plan out how I want to relocate them. Like I said, the gentleman that I'm following kind of his how-to for what he did, he welded in a bunch of stuff, but like I said, I kind of want to try and go away from welding if I can and make braces that are boltable, only for the fact that not everyone has a welder, like I said. So I want to leave this option open to everyone. Okay, so here is more of the mock-up I'm now currently making. Well, currently took the measurements to have the brackets made. I'm gonna have to either get fancy with it or I'm gonna have to weld. I'm trying really not to. The seats are somewhat in their location. The steering wheel is somewhat in its location. As you can see, not bad. The steering wheel does stick out a little farther, but that's because I really tucked it in there, so I could have the most amount of room. Like I said, it's not perfect. I still have to make the bracket for down there. I then also have to take this shifter. I got to cut it probably somewhere around here and relocate it back about 3 inches and then back up again. Due to when I shift it all the way down, I do hit that frame. That's what happens when they take floor shifters out of new trucks. But for the most part, like I said, I had to cut this. I cut it out. I actually cut too much, but once I get it all done, I get side brackets and brackets for the center down there. I am going to start making inner supports to fill back in the areas that I cut out. I just don't have an exact time when I'm planning on doing that. It's not too bad. This is going to be covered right there. Over here, I'm going to fill it in. I do have to put this back in. Right now, I kind of just have it tweaked in there. But I do have my column piece to put back in. And go around to this side of the truck. See, the column piece is still in on this one. I gotta run supports. Yeah, not too bad. Just gotta finish putting everything in its right orientation so that when I make the brackets, I can literally just tighten them in and be done with it for a little bit at least. Well, there it is. It's part 1 of my 4th gen into a 2nd gen dash swap. I'm nowhere near done. There is many more custom modifications I'm going to be needing to make, like adding extra support. I have to then now I gotta make all my brackets so that I know where I can and can't put extra support. I am going to also try and make all my all the original 4th gen stuff work, or at least look like make my 2nd gen stuff look like the 4th gen stuff. Don't really know 100% how I'm gonna do that, but I guess we're gonna do it together. A few things that I'm kind of not too pleased with about all this. The fact is the 4x4. I don't like how I have to modify that. I really wish I didn't have to. And I could probably figure out a way not to, but it's just going to be easier in the end to modify it. Another thing that I have to figure out how to do also is the AC. I don't want to lose AC. I am from South Florida. Without AC, the job or life is just no fun. So what I was planning on doing, I know it's not going to work the best, but it's what I have to work with. I'm probably going to box off around the 2nd gen. I'll show you here. I'm probably going to box that off with, say, like make a box with ABS plastic. And then I'm going to drill holes into it and put most likely hose fittings. Then make another ABS box around each one of my vents. And then put more hose fittings. And I'm probably going to use inch and a half hot tub hose. Or something along that line so it's flexible. It's going to be able to handle heat and not collapse on itself. So if I do want to run my heat for like the 3 days in Florida, and I think it should keep decent flow going and not restrict it down too much, but also gives me enough room to weave it in and out of the areas I can, because there is not a lot of room in some places, and other places I have tons of room. But that's it for today. Let me go home, edit this up, get it loaded up for you guys so that you can see if you want to attempt this. It's not for the lighthearted, but you can do it.